As expected, cognitive dissonance will arise. This is somewhat of a part 2 to the video that I did yesterday concerning the fact that if a person was to be left to their own devices out into the woods, no one around them, left on an island, no culture, no nationality, no parents to teach them of any religion or anything of the sort, that they would not become Christian, Muslim, Jew, any of those religions. And I want to go a step further in this video to talk about what they would most likely become. And we have evidence of such. So this person is utilizing the cognitive dissonance of my experience. I called out to God and my experience that God has moved, revealed himself to in my life. And he is that one example. And if only there is one example, then that would prove that everything I said yesterday was a lie. Now, he's claimed that he is not Christian yet. His second comment denotes that the influence that was upon him was very much so Christian, because a Muslim would not have said, a person who was influenced by Islam would not say that the rocks and the animals would cry out, nor would a person who is Indus or a person who is Buddhist or any other religion. It is only the Christian religion that would say what he said in these last lines, that the animals and rocks will cry out, because it is the only book that speaks of those certain terms, those things happening. So evidently, when you did, as in your experience, you reached out for God, you were influenced by Christianity, whether it's part of your culture, part of your nation, or you were raised that way, or you was raised within it, or your friends or family, or whatever the situation is that brings Christianity as the primary thing that is invading your subconscious mind. You were already predisposed to the Bible. Now, because the verses that you talked about could be from the Torah, and it's in both the Torah and the New Testament, you could be either one. You could be influenced by Judaism or you could be influenced by Christianity. But because you said you're not Christian, I believe that you were influenced mostly by Christianity. I don't invalidate anybody's emotional experiences, but you cannot, and what I will invalidate is the fact that you cannot claim that your personal experience is proof of the existence of a God. Every other religion claims the exact same thing. So it is a claim without merit. It is a claim without any facts whatsoever. And you can call me a liar all you want to. It doesn't really matter to me, but I based everything on facts. And one of the facts that we do have in this society, in this world, in our history, is that if a person is left to their own devices and all they see is nature, that a person will at some point manifest and create their own ideas of God. And that is what would happen to a person who was born on a desert island, it has not been a desert island, but a deserted island, on a deserted island, having the ability to survive, but without the influence of parents, without the influence of society and government and church and mosque and all these other things. That person at some point may start to believe that the rain is caused by a God, and that the rivers are ruled by a God, the plants are ruled by a God, that all the things that they are witnessing in nature is either ruled by one God or multiple gods. Why do I say we have proof of this? Because in every religion that has ever been developed, it has been developed by man's observation of nature. Every god of the older times, until the Zoroastrians were one of the first in the Levant to start looking at Ahura Mazda as just an eternal being that controlled and manifests everything. They were the first one to see that as a monotheistic thing. Now, in every other religion, there is a God. You have Ra or the Ogdod or the Aten as different Egyptian deities who were the universal God, but then that God employed other gods to handle the smaller things. This idea of just an eternal God is relatively new in the face of the history of man in our more recent time frame. It is something that is only about 2,500 years old. Prior to that, You had a primary God, and then all other things are controlled by other gods. So a person left on a deserted island will most likely believe that there is a God of different aspects. And they may think that there is a earthly God or a universal God, but it won't be the God of the Bible. It won't be the God of the Quran. It won't be the God of the Vedics or the Upanishads or any of these books. It will be of their own creation, entirely of their own creation, is what this God will be. The problem with the dissonance that you display is that the God that you believe in is not the God of your own creation. No, the God that you believe in is the God of the creation of people 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. That's the God that you believe in. If you are believing and following the God that emanated from the Bible, then you're believing the God that emanates from the Torah. Then you're believing the God that emanates from the Canaanites. Then you're believing the God that emanated from the Assyrians, that emanated from the Akkadians, that emanated from the Sumerians. You believe and you should worship your God, Enlil. But I know your cognitive dissonance won't allow you to do that. And I know you won't study to show yourself approved in order to do that. So y'all have a great day. And always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.